Do you love Amatriciana? Then you must love this cousin of Amatriciana, Amatriciana from Calabria, known as Jonica. Jonica. For once, a recipe from Calabria that doesn't have chili peppers. Instead, just a regular red pepper. Peperone, which is different than pepperoni that you have on your pizza. Pepperoni is not even a thing in Italy. In terms of salami, spicy salami, we don't have it. In Italian, peperone is this guy, not pepperoni. Did you know that? So essentially we're going to do the same thing we do with the Amatriciana. We're going to saute our beautiful guanciale, this guy right here. Look how beautiful it is, a lot of fat, yes. For the tomatoes, we're gonna use some Marzano that we already have peeled, and some Datterini tomatoes. They're kind of like cherry tomatoes. They're a little oblong compared to the cherry, which is a bit more round. They are sweeter than cherry tomatoes. Now you can boil this pepper to skin it before putting it into the sauce. Alternatively, and that's what we're going to do, we're going to roast it so the flavor is going to be enhanced. There are a couple of ways to roast the pepper. We're going to char this guy on the stovetop this time instead of going in the oven. It's caldo in Italia, meglio non accendere il forno. So let's char our pepper and score and peel our tomatoes. Let's oil our pepper before we char it. It helps a lot. Fiamma alta per questo lavoro. Questo diventerà tutto bello nero, carbonizzato, il vapore lo cuoce all'interno, poi rimuovere la pellicina nera sarà un gioco da ragazzi. When we're done charring this guy, we're gonna put it on a bowl and we'll let the steam from within keep cooking the pepper. Then skin it will be a piece of cake. And while we're waiting for the pepper, let's prepare the tomatoes. Perfect. The tomatoes are ready. Now we can peel them together with the pepper that is ready, and then we combine everything together and we blend them. Alternatively, you can use the pasta verdura, is the classic grandma tool in which you put all the tomato and then you squash everything in it, and it does remove the skin and the seeds. If you want to make it easier, just use tomato puree instead of messing with tomatoes like I'm doing. I just like fresh tomato, that's why I'm doing it. And over here we're going to slice a couple of garlic cloves, and after that we're gonna prepare the guanciale. Just to clarify one more time, this is the cheek of a pork. It's not bacon, which is the belly. In that case, in Italian would be pancetta. It is not just the amount of fat that makes the difference between pancetta and guanciale. It's the flavor, the smell, and the taste of it. Perfetto! Adesso aggiungiamo un pizzico di sale, adesso il resto quando sarà pronto lo facciamo ritirare in padella, ma prima ovviamente ci rosoliamo il nostro guanciale. We always cook the guanciale with a medium-low heat because we want to make sure that it's gonna be crispy on the outside when it's fully cooked inside. Sometimes people make the mistake of cooking the guanciale or even pancetta at really high heat. It's not gonna fly. The penalty is to have some guanciale that is burned out on the outside while it's not cooked inside. We don't want that, right? Really gentle, very gentle. Notice the amount of oil that is being released, which is why you never use oil when you cook guanciale. This guanciale has more color than a twilight in Rome. Di un tramonto a Roma. Obviously, not all the guanciale cooks at the same speed. So if we do see that there are pieces that are already cooked, we take it out. We don't want to overcook the one that is already cooked. Now the guanciale is translucent. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. There you go. Do you see? This is the oil from the guanciale. It's more than enough to make the soffritto. So we're gonna keep it here until it gets golden brown. Then we remove it. We always remove the garlic. Finally, we have the tomato and pepper sauce. We'll let it reduce, and while that is happening, we boil the pasta, so everything's gonna be ready to be assembled all at once at the end. In the meantime, if you like this video so far, don't forget to hit the like button, to subscribe to Piatto if you haven't done it already, and if you're hungry for more, check out our latest book, Pasta Affair. Here it is. Pasta Affair. You will find it at Amazon and Kindle and paper version. 50 among the most popular pastas of Italy. Amatriciana, for example, you will find it in the section dedicated to pasta with meat. And here it is. This is the Amatriciana. It goes step by step with tips at the end of the recipe to guide you to the best possible outcome when it comes to these complicated Italian recipes. Pasta Affair. Now let's get back on this one before it's too late. For the pasta, we're using something called spaghetto quadrato, so just to make a little variation from the usual spaghetto or spaghetto grosso. Anything will go, even short pasta will do, actually, with this beautiful sauce and a piece of guanciale that gets inside, not too bad. But just make sure, whatever pasta you choose, to get the one that it says trafilata al bronzo, which means bronze die cut. It's a little detail, but it makes the spaghetti or whatever pasta rough on the outside, which is very good because the pasta will cling on the sauce, whatever sauce you have. E non dimentichiamoci il basilico. Aggiungiamo qualche fogliolina di basilico nel nostro sugo. Ecco, questo è il segretino. Here we go, the pasta is ready. It is finally time to mix everything together. Mantechiamo questa bellezza. E poi a fiamma spenta uniremo il pecorino. Adesso la vostra Flavietta prova a saltare la pasta. Spegniamo ed incorporiamo il pecorino e quindi infine impiattiamo. Pecorino, giriamo, guardate che bellezza, è veramente invitante, non è? Perfetto, ed ecco a voi l'amatriciana calabrese. And of course, as per usual, your Flavia Diamante is gonna sacrifice herself for the final sampling of this crazy Calabrian variation of the Amatriciana. It's delicious, it's not just a variation of the Amatriciana, it changes it in a significant way. It's softer, more round, definitely sweeter. And is it good? It's delicious. This was my first time trying it, and I am pretty sure it's not gonna be the last one. At least this is my point of view, but what do you think about adding pepper to an Amatriciana? I'm curious to know your point of view.